Hello everyone, welcome to part 4 on modal verbs in grammar. I've got a question for you. How do we use the modal verbs must and have to, ought to, need not, do not have to, and dare to? Must. We use must to show our authority as speakers. Must is very strong. When you use must means the order is strong. A teacher can say to a student, you must write your homework. So the meaning here is, I am ordering you to write your homework and I expect you to write it. But if I use I must, I don't use you must, I use I must write my homework. Here there is no order from anyone. So the order is there when you use you must write your homework, and the order is from an outside authority, from the speaker's authority, if you want. This is a high level video, so please, if you like it, just continue to watch it. If it's difficult, you don't have to watch it. It's suitable for intermediate, upper intermediate, and advanced levels. Number B, we use must to show something will certainly happen. Because Khadija passed her driving test, we must have a party. So what's the meaning? Definitely there will be a party. Number C, we use must when I am sure about something, like I conclude something, I deduce something. James must be intelligent because he can solve difficult mathematical problems. And here I don't use you, I use James. So you have to use he must be or she must be. This means you are concluding, you are deducing something. So James must be intelligent because he can solve difficult mathematical problems. This means I am sure James is intelligent. Sarah must have left. So what's the meaning here? It means I am sure Sarah left because I can see her back in the room. So I use must, I use have, I use past participle of leave, and here I am speaking about an event in the past. And the meaning, this is the meaning. I am sure Sarah left because I can see her back in the room. Remember, note, I must do my homework on time. I and must means there is no order from anyone. Have to. We use have to show strong obligation from outside or external authority. So have to is from outside. Must is from me as a speaker. Have to from maybe school or college or government or police. It's from outside. And what does it mean? Have to. What does it mean? It means these are the rules. A teacher may say to a student, you have to write your homework. So you and have and to means I am not ordering you, but these are the rules at school and I expect you to write your homework. You had to write your homework. This is the past of have. So what's the meaning? In the past, there were rules for students to write their homework. So I am not ordering you, but those were the rules in the past. I did not have to write my homework. So here, this is the opposite of have to. It means in the past, there was no order from my teacher to me to write my homework. So I speak, like if I am a student, I say, I didn't have to write my homework. Means there was no order from anyone, for me forced to write homework. I have to write my homework. I have and to means there is no order from anyone, but these are the rules. These are the rules. When you use have to means these are the rules, they come from outside. But when you say you must means you are ordering someone. So in this sentence, I have to write my homework. It means these are the rules, but no one ordered me, no speaker, ought to, we use ought to show obligation. Ought to is very formal in English and it is still used. I ought to visit my parents next week. This means morally I have a duty to visit my parents. Another sentence, I ought to get a gas certificate for my property. This means legally, by law, I have a duty to visit my, I have a duty to to get a certificate get a certificate for my property. It's a typing mistake, property, sorry about that. So legally I have a duty to get a certificate for my property. I ought to get a certificate, a gas certificate for my property. This means ought to is formal. As I said, we use ought to plus have plus past participle to show an action was not done. So if I say to you, you ought to have told Stephen that the exam was not easy, or was easy, no problem. So what's the meaning of the sentence? It means you did not tell Stephen. You ought to have told Stephen that the exam was easy. So you ought to have told means you did not do it. Need not, we use need to show there is no obligation. So if I say to you, you need not go to school if you are ill, this means you don't have a duty to go to school because you are ill. So there is no obligation on your part to go to school. You need not go. You are not obliged to go because you are ill. So you don't have a duty to go. Number B, we use need not to show the speaker's authority or advice. So you need not withdraw all the money from your savings account. You need not withdraw. This means I am an authority like a bank manager and I'm advising you not to withdraw your money from the bank. So how do I say? I say you need not withdraw your money from the bank. Of course, as you can see, need here is a modal verb. That's why I put not. So with modal verbs, you can use not, after the modal verb to make negative. Don't have to. We use don't have to show outside authority, which means these are the rules. It's like have to, but don't have to is like the opposite. So students don't have to wear their ID card outside college. So still the meaning is these are the rules. But if I say you have to, it means these are the rules, do it. If I say you don't have to, it means these are the rules, don't do it. If you know. So students don't have to wear their ID card outside college. What's the meaning of this sentence? This is an order from college telling students that they do not need to wear their ID card outside college. Again, watch the video again to remember and save the information in your mind. There too, there is a semi-modal verb and we can use it as a main or ordinary verb or as an auxiliary verb. So if I say nobody dares to ask this question, I put S to there. So this means there is a main verb, like nobody goes, nobody dares. So when you put S to S, third person singular S, it means there is a main verb. Number B, dare you tell Alex the bad news? So dare is an auxiliary verb and we use it to ask a question in the same way as we use do. So if you look here, you can see dare you tell Alex the bad news? Do you tell Alex the bad news? So do you tell, dare you tell? So it's like do and dare are the same. We use do to ask questions and here I use dare you tell Alex to ask questions or to dare you tell Alex the bad news. So it's the same structure in both sentences. So we use dare to ask questions. Of course, dare, when you say I dare do this, means I have the courage to do it. I'm brave enough to do it. John dare tell Alex the bad news. The meaning, dare is an auxiliary verb and we use it to say a sentence in the affirmative. So this sentence is in the affirmative, there is no negative. And we use there as we use can, for example. So if you look, John dare tell Alex the bad news. John can tell Alex the bad news. So dare tell, can tell, you can see, the same structure in both sentences. So John dare tell Alex the bad news means like John is brave enough to tell her the bad news. He is courageous enough to tell her the bad news. And here there, as you can see, is an auxiliary verb. I don't put s to it, it's like can. I can't say can's tell, I can't say there's tell. So there is like an auxiliary verb. Or if you want, it's a modal verb, which is a type of an auxiliary verb. So again, you can go online and you can type this to Google. You can type interactive exercises on modal verbs, and then Google will give you thousands or millions of websites, and then you can do practice on modal verbs. Try to watch part 1, part 2, and part 3 and part 4 on modal verbs. I know they are difficult, but if you keep watching them and if you do exercises online again and again and again, I'm sure you will understand them, and it will be easy for you to use them in your speaking and in your writing. If you use modal verbs in your speaking and writing, means your English is very, very good. So thank you for watching this video. Please click on subscribe if you liked it, and I hope you learn from these videos all the time, and I will put more videos for all students and for everyone who is interested in watching my videos. Thank you again, and best of luck.